Hello, welcome to the Tutors of Life podcast, where we research life so you don't have to. Episode 408. This is your host, Shaun Tutor.
And this is Sam. And this is a talk episode where the tutors talk.
Sam made me skip the gym this morning to podcast.
Sorry, guys. I wanted to be consistent.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to train tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we have anything tonight.
Nope. We got to nothing.
What's up?
Tired?
Are you?
Yeah. How about you?
I'm good. Been up for a while,
Yeah.
so I'm good.
It's good.
Having some coffee.
Mm-hmm.
It's yummy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the mornings are the worst time to be unprepared.
Yeah.
You know?
Because you can just so easily fall into the habit of scrolling on your phone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, is that what I've been doing this morning?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I've just been waiting. Chilling. No, I just feel like, I had on my thing, like, my 3 things I needed to do this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot that I need to, shower and shave. And I was like, fuck. Now that's 15 minutes unplanned,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, damn, I gotta do that. Whatever.
Rough life.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It was just 15 minutes I wasn't planning for.
Mm-hmm.
And think about it.
Yeah.
Thankfully, baby ate longer than expected.
Yeah.
So I got done. But anyways, first world problems.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how this is a thing, dude. And some people, I know the answer. I just want to be stupid. I go golfing last night, right?
Right.
Drink a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Not a crazy amount, but we have some drinks. Then we had league dinner. So we had some chicken, homemade mac, and some green beans.
Mm-hmm.
And it was good.
How'd your tummy feel after the mac and cheese?
Totally fine.
Damn.
Wake up this morning, lean. More peeled than almost any other morning I wake up.
I hate you.
Just fucking, I was like, dude, God damn it.
I have one thing that's not a part of our diet, and I bloat out twice the size.
Yeah. Just
you suck.
dude, I just woke up. I was like, how the fuck am I leaner today than I am every other day?
It makes no sense. I suppose maybe the alcohol dehydrated you.
Exactly.
And then the carbs went to your muscles.
Uh-huh.
I hate men.
Huh?
I said it, nothing.
Did you say you hate me?
I hate men.
Oh, hate men? Yeah, dude. I was like, fuck, yeah, let's go.
You just have it so easy.
Oh, it's so easy. Shaun, you got it so easy. You trained many years for this. And you take testosterone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, you've put in the work to make it where now it's easy. Still.
I love it, dude. I love it. So many folks, dude. So many folks think that they're just going to get on TRT. They just take some steroids and they'll get in shape. No, dude. Testosterone ain't fucking getting rid of your 100 pounds of tum.
No.
It's not happening. You got to put in the work. That's it.
And it takes time.
Takes time. It takes time. It takes a lot of effort. I do know, though, that, there's definitely in that world 2 aspects. So if you are hanging out, so guy or girl, I've noticed it more with girls long term because it almost seems like more girls are able to stay consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see. A lot of the girls I know, it tends to be from I've seen do it, things like that. It tends to be more from mom weight or just college weight.
Mm-hmm.
So they usually don't get super fat with the big flap over the fupa and shit,
Mm-hmm.
They just get a little heavier. They don't get floppy,
Mm-hmm.
You can put in a ton of, if you put in a lot of work, that will go away pretty quick. Like you may go away pretty quick with a lot of work and good dieting, but you don't get like the tightening up of the skin for usually a couple years of consistency.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, even look at Becky Weiss.
Right.
She even like said like, I mean, you can see she has a 6-pack, but she even says like she still has like a little bit of loose skin at the very bottom.
Yeah, for sure.
And she's just like, it just takes time. And she highly recommends like collagen for women.
Yeah. Yeah, it just takes forever is all. But
because that's what I noticed the other day. I was just like, I really am not, like, I'm obviously not back to where I was. But I look heavier even though I'm not, because it's like loose.
Yeah.
So it was just like very weird because I was like looking at myself in the mirror and I was like, I'm not actually that like bad right now. And like weight wise, I'm 133, which is pretty normal for me. So I was just like, but just looking at it, it just hangs a little bit lower, which is why it looks fattier. It's so weird.
Yeah. But so like, I think a lot of guys too, they'll get the big, they'll have like the floppy gut, or like the big prego belly and shit. And then they lose weight. And it seems like men have a harder time being consistent than women. It seems to me for a lot of folks.
I don't know.
But anyways, you can lose it fast. But you can lose it fast. But dude, if you've already been big, you got excess skin. And some of it ain't going away because you let yourself get that far. And you're now either going to have to get surgery or you got to live with excess skin.
Yeah.
You let this happen, dude.
Dude, I saw a video of this woman, and I think the total amount of excess skin she had removed, and it wasn't even all of it yet, was like 10 pounds.
Oh, bro. Not surprised.
And that was just in her belly. And then I think she got like excess skin from her legs removed, and it was like another 5 pounds.
Yeah, dude.
I was like, damn.
It's fucking crazy. It's crazy, dude. It's like everything. People don't understand the long-term consequences. You don't understand the long-term consequences of eating the way you're eating, having a stagnant lifestyle, not like taking care of yourself. Dude, because like I was talking to Ben golfing yesterday. If you're training chest and you're doing shit like that, you have to train your upper back and your rear delts. Otherwise, you're going to get really fucked up. Well, it's like, dude, a lot of people, sure, they're not training, but they work at a desk or they're on their phone, and so you've got the like head posture.
Yeah, the texting neck.
You get texting neck, dude. You don't understand how bad that texting neck is, like long term.
I'm like, how long it's going to take to try to get back to where you should be.
So many years of multiple, like so many years of like 45 minutes to an hour a day, like multiple days a week. You guys have no idea. And okay, so you don't take care of it. No problem. Do you know the strain that puts on your fucking neck? Or that puts on your back, your spine, over time, dude? Oh, good luck. People do not think of the long-term consequences of a lot of shit. So you're talking texting neck, you're talking the concave rolled shoulders, fucking from working at a desk, eating and getting fat, not saving money, not investing money, not taking care of your house, not taking care of your assets, vehicles, whatever. Dudes, you gotta think longer than the year. You gotta think longer than the moment. You gotta think fucking 10, 20, 30, 40 years out.
Yeah. Back to the weight loss thing. I think why women can stay consistent longer is because I think women have a harder time starting and staying consistent. But once they get past that initial phase, then they're better at staying consistent because they have to work so much harder to even like start losing weight than men.
Sure.
So like from the get-go, they have to be disciplined.
From the get-go?
Gecko?
Gecko.
Gecko?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
They have to be so disciplined and consistent from the beginning.
Right.
And then it's easier to keep going once you have that discipline already in place.
Yeah, I think so.
With men, they can lose weight so easily, so quickly at the beginning. So I think like they just not take advantage of it. I think they're always just like, oh, like I can just do a little bit and I'll lose weight. But as we know, if just doing a little sometimes is easier to fall off the bandwagon.
Yeah, they take it for granted.
Thank you for granted. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, dude, that's so true. Dude, I fucking like a month ago, I think Andy had a previous professional football player on. I think is who he had. And that dude's like, yeah, 75 hard made me get back on my shit. He's like, I was like maybe 60 to 80 pounds overweight.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, I'd see it. And I was just like, well, whenever I want it back, I can get it back. Whenever I want, I can get it back whenever I want. And just put it off year after year after year after year until finally he's like, fuck, it's going to be hard to get it back. Mm-hmm. And it's true. It's true.
Yeah, because that's exactly what their mindset is they're just like, I just need to like work out for a month and I'll get it back.
Yeah, no, dude. No. Yeah, I'm grateful that I've like, oh no, I'm just grateful I started my journey training when I was 14, just made it part of my life. Mm-hmm. And so anytime that I've like tried to do things, go up in weight, lose weight, shit like that, I really understand the actual time implication and what it takes.
Yeah.
And I'm not like, I can lose and lean up fast, a lot faster than most people, but I still know that like, if I want to be shreddy, it's like months of extreme discipline.
Yeah, we've talked about this story before, but nice little reminder for all of you. It took 1 month for Shaun to lose his abs from eating cookies.
Yeah, dude.
And it took how many months to get him back?
What? One.
How much more did you work out in that 1 month, though?
Big difference. Because, I trained, I don't remember exactly what it was, but so it was 31 days in January, and I trained like 35 or 40 times or something.
Yeah, because you were doing jiu-jitsu or taekwondo 3 days a week.
Yeah.
And I think you were working out 5 days a week.
Yeah. So, yeah, I did more training sessions than days in the month. So I was doing like some 2-a-days and stuff. So, I mean, you're talking the 1 month of me eating cookies, and it's not like I'm eating cookies all day long.
Right.
Lose my 6-pack. Then I go into January and go, wow, you piece of shit. Start fasting, start training, sometimes 2-a-days to get them back. So like, yeah, when you think of the time, I probably had in combined an hour worth of time of putting cookies in my mouth. Mm-hmm. And then I had, I don't know, 45 hours, 40 hours to lose.
Yeah, probably more than that.
Probably more than that.
Yeah.
So you're talking like 45 to 1, 50 to 1.
That's wild.
Yeah. That's just the actual activity of me just putting food in my mouth compared to whatever. But yeah, it's crazy, dude. It's like sorry.
And now we know if you would have ate those cookies around workouts, you probably would have been better off.
I've known that, and I knew that back then. It's just not it's not efficient.
When there's a fresh cookie, fresh from the oven, right in front of you, what are you supposed to do?
Thank you. That's exactly right. You got to eat it. I didn't make the rules, dude. I just follow them.
You know who didn't sample all the cookies?
Whatever.
You know who still doesn't have a six-pack?
Hey now. Hey now. What was I gonna say? You interrupted me.
I know, and I don't know why you let me.
I don't either.
50-1. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah. I don't know.
Sorry. Shaun's usually way better at remembering shit than I am.
Yeah.
Wow, you cleaned your table over there. When did you do that?
I don't know. Many podcasts ago.
We're starting to put together our plan for 420.
There you go.
I wanted to go a little extreme. Shaun said no.
I don't know how to control extreme.
Valid. It would have been just
Stupid. It would have been terrible.
an audio jungle.
That's why we don't want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it has to be maintainable.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember what I was saying, though. It's about... I don't know. It's gone. It has evaded me.
Wow. Usually if I just bring up something that we were talking about before, you can remember.
I know. Not this time.
No, not the 50-1.
Not getting me there.
You know, I kind of like that 50-1.
Yeah, it's not real. It's actually not that amount of work. But in that scenario, it gives you a little perspective of what it takes.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Eating sweets around workouts. Mark Bell. Men working out. Nope. Okay. It's gone.
Nothing. We're moving on.
Sounds good.
What do you got going on?
Just trying to cram my book for book club.
Nice.
So we're reading The Library of the Unwritten. I really like the concept of the book. I am struggling reading the book. I just it's just so weird because I'm just like really interested in it. But I don't want to read it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never had that happen where I've been like, I'm curious about the story, but I don't want to read it. It's definitely another book that they could probably cut out 2/3 of the book and you would still get the story.
Right.
Which that's how I feel about a lot of books.
A lot, dude. A lot of fucking.
So much fluff.
I get let me see here. I get it in the realm of like driving a point home in a business book. So they'll like essentially repeat the same thing 100 times.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you kind of have to like have the book have the story.
Yeah.
But you could seriously take almost every book, like the books that I've read out of this.
Mm-hmm.
You could get it done in probably 1 to 10 pages.
Yeah.
1 to 10 pages, you could have the point.
Yep.
The difference is, and like how Napoleon Hill writes, is Napoleon Hill's like, you have to read this to figure out what I'm telling you, because if I just tell you, you won't get it.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to come to the conclusion on your own. It's like when you're teaching someone something, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
you can't just be like, hey, you do it this way, and then it's done. You have to let them figure out why, or you have to explain. You got to explain, like, here is why we're doing this.
Yeah.
Bing, 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 bing. And then they're like, oh, I get it. We're doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just so hard in like fiction books. Cause like I get they want to like give you all the details. But there's some times where it's just like, it literally, there was a paragraph about walking through the hallways of hell. Walking through the hallways of hell. I don't care. Just bring me to the next room.
Right. Yeah.
And like, it's not just happened once. Like, she's walked through these hallways 2 or 3 times now, and every time they describe the hallways in a paragraph, and I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
So I'm halfway through them. I got today and tomorrow to finish it. We'll see if that happens.
Yeah.
I could always use one of your Audible credits and listen to it instead.
That would probably work.
So it's like I said, it's a very interesting book because it's about so there's a department in hell called the Library of the Unwritten, and it's where all of the unfinished books go. Very neat concept.
It is.
And there's a librarian and an assistant who takes care of the Library of the Unwritten.
Sure.
Because the issue with that library is unwritten stories get kind of squirrely. So, because they want to be finished.
Right.
So, the characters will actually come alive. And so the librarian and her assistant have to put the characters back in their books. There's different ways to do it. She starts off with stabbing a little girl and getting her to go back in her book.
Makes sense.
Yep.
All right. Interesting.
So yeah, it's a very interesting concept. And right now they're on the hunt for Hell's Bible or something. Lucifer's Bible. I don't know. So that, like, it's a very cool concept of a story. It's just, it's taking fucking forever.
Yeah. Sounds like it. Interesting.
So, yeah. That's what I'm trying to do right now. And then I got book club tomorrow, which that'll be fun. Always love my book club.
Yeah.
Shaun's going to be on baby duty.
Yep.
His favorite time. Dude, guys, it is so funny. Shaun sadly right now doesn't get a whole lot of Lily time, but it's because he comes home in the afternoon and usually she wants to eat for 2-3 hours before she goes to bed, so she's just on me. And it's fine, whatever. So yesterday, Shaun's in the office in the daytime, which honestly, mid-afternoon is my favorite time with her. She's just so bubbly and fun and wants to play and just happy as a clam, and it's just great. So Shaun and I are at the office, and he's just like, I get to have some Lily snuggies, and it's going to be great. How long did you hold her for?
2 minutes.
And then Brooke comes in and steals her.
She just comes in and takes her. You didn't want her anyways. I was like, yeah, no, guess not. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
She's like, she's just so cute. I'm like, yeah, no shit.
So funny. But you did get some snuggies at the end of the day anyways, so.
Yeah, when she's a nightmare.
She wasn't a nightmare. She just doesn't want to sleep. The second time she wasn't as much of a nightmare. She just didn't sleep. And then you just get sick of rocking her and just put her in her bed.
Well, it's because I start to fall asleep. Because I put myself to sleep. Telling stories and rocking. How am I not going to fall asleep?
That's valid,
And the baby's just like,
wide awake.
Oh, this is great. I'm like, fuck. Yeah. So, you figure out who has our book yet?
No, I can message in there.
That'd be cool.
It might be Bridget, to be honest.
Let's check it out.
Yeah, I'll message.
Nice. What was I going to bring up? My brain's been evading me this morning. I had shit.
Wow.
It's
and
gone,
you have nothing
dude.
now.
Nothing.
Dude, I am so upset. So we're looking for a new house for my mother. And we got sent one from a realtor yesterday.
Bro, there's a copy down there, right?
Oh, is there really?
Yeah.
Oh. Huh. That's not what we gave Dr. Kyle.
Right. You're right. Uh-huh.
Dang.
Uh-huh. You can still ask for our other copy back.
Yeah.
Did we give him our only copy of the book we gave him?
Yep.
We gotta get another one.
Yep. Anyways, so what was I talking about?
You're talking about your mom's house.
Oh, yes. So we got sent this perfect house to go look at. And literally perfect. Because my mom wants a house in the country, just a small 2-bed, 1-bath, whatever. So Shaun goes and looks at it, and he's just like, yep, this is perfect. It's going to be like $50K in renovations. It'll still be like cheap enough. It'll be great. So we put in an offer 20 over asking. 20 over asking?
15 with escalation to go another 20.
Yeah. But the one contingency we always put is well and septic, because that alone could be up to 30,000 in repairs. So we always do a well and septic inspection.
Yeah, we didn't one time.
And it backfired. Big time.
Yeah, it was like
that was our whole profit.
Not our whole, but it was, the septic was fine. The well was 12,000.
Yeah.
So yeah, after that, we're like, oh, that's 12,000 we didn't account for. We're going to start accounting for shit.
So then we got an email notice that they just went with a different offer.
Yeah.
So we're guessing either one or both are probably shot.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's definitely a reason. It's like whether, because the thing is, they could have just been offered, 17,000 or 18,000 more with zero contingencies. So maybe our escalation didn't even like come into effect.
Yeah.
Or someone just offered blown out of the water high numbers, which was still possible. You could still make it make sense going higher.
Yeah.
But it's like if you didn't have that well and septic, and we went like, because we were willing to go like up to 35 higher.
Yeah.
Let's say someone, came in at 40, 50 higher, the numbers still made sense. But if you didn't do a well and septic and you had to do a new well and septic, well, now the numbers don't make sense in any fucking world, and you're RIP.
Right.
So, I don't know. It, sucks. It sucks. So, back on the hunt.
Yep. Yeah, that's the issue with finding stuff on the... It wasn't...
7 offers one day.
Yeah. Weird enough, it wasn't on any of the listing sites.
Damn.
So it wasn't on Zillow, Realtor, nothing. It was only on Prospect. Is that who?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was only on their website.
Wow.
So that was only from agents who knew like what their buyers buy box were bringing people out.
Ah, sure. Well, that makes sense because we had to give, before we could even set up a showing, we had to show proof of funds.
That's crazy.
It's smart.
Yeah.
So automatically any showing you have qualified people going and looking.
I also don't, like, they should have had the starting thing way higher then.
Yeah, I don't understand. Me and Steph talked about that. We're like, what the fuck are they doing, dude?
Yeah, because, no offense, if someone's looking at it, how are they not going to be able to have $100,000 in a loan or anything?
What do you mean?
Most people should be able to get $100,000 loan, if not. You know what I mean?
Yes, but you can't do conventional financing.
Oh, on that one, yeah.
Yeah, because it had too many things wrong with it. You had to do a commercial loan or like
that makes sense, yeah.
Cash of sorts. So.
Yeah. I don't know.
You gotta think most people don't know how to do that. Most people, like your average Joe, will go there and they don't know that you can get commercial financing for shit like that.
That's true, yeah.
All they know is conventional.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, now I'm sad, but whatever.
Yeah.
We'll find another one. Wasn't meant to be.
Right. It was a cool fucking place, though.
Yeah.
Real cool.
I bet you someone put in a stupidly high offer.
Probably.
Yeah.
The thing with that place was like the location was really great.
Yeah.
The location, that lot alone. Somebody really looked at the fact that if that lot sold, that lot would sell for $100,000 on its own.
Yeah.
And then they gave money for the house. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is, dude. It is what that's another thing, like when you don't find something off market and you gotta compete, there are people who have money, who want to live there.
Yeah.
And they don't care if they're all in at what they'd buy it at anyways.
Yeah, I suppose because if it's someone in their 50s, 60s, and they're just like, we want to find the place that we're going to die at.
Right.
Who cares how much they spend on it?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So if they're all in at $250, what you could sell it for, who gives a fuck?
Some people even don't care if they go over because they're just like, we're not going to be selling this, so who cares?
100%.
Yeah.
Yep. So I mean, that's where it gets tough when you're going up against competition, because some people don't. Well, and the other thing is, dude, this is huge. People get emotional connections.
Yeah.
And I go there and I'm like, this place is sick. I love it. I'm not going to overspend because I like the place.
Yeah.
A lot of people will.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
Which is why we have money and other people don't.
Yes, that is correct.
Dude, I have seen some people on Caleb Hammer lately. Just doozies. Holy shit. People, and someone put a comment on one of his like reels or whatever, like the $100,000 salary now is like the old $40,000 salary.
It really is.
Dude, but so many of these people that make $100,000 spend it on useless fucking shit.
Of course they do.
Oh my God. Like, all these people are racking up. I think this couple, they make $100,000 a year, and I think they had like $300,000 in debt, not counting their house.
We've talked about this before. I think the best thing you can do if you're bad with money is hold on. If you're bad with money, however, you know the concept to save money. If you're smart enough to know the concept to save money, which is very easy, you're just undisciplined, okay? You can find, here's the thing, doesn't matter who the fuck you are, you can get in shape, you can get your finances right, it doesn't matter, you're lazy. That's why it's not done. That's the only reason you're lazy. Okay. Second thing, if you have a hard time or you've got a problem with buying compulsively, shit you don't need. And you might think you need it, but guess what? You probably don't. And here's the best thing I think you could do. You need to take your ass on a flight and you need to go to Malaysia. And you need to go walk around Malaysia, or you need to go ride around in a tuk-tuk in Thailand. And you need to see how those people live.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? You need to see how those people live to realize real quick that, you know what? We got it pretty fucking good.
Yeah, we do.
And you can see these people and see what they have and go, you know what? We need so much less than we think we need. Like, besides food, we wouldn't need to, we would not need to buy anything.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
Like, really, what we own right now, we would not need to buy anything for the rest of our lives besides food. Because everything we have, we could make work.
Yep.
Now, eventually, like, we would have to make clothes into other clothes and shit. But the point being is, like, we've got so much shit that you can repurpose it and use it for other shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
But people oftentimes think, like, I need a fucking, like, anything in your fucking kitchen. Like, I need a new mixer because my mixer's old. Or, like, I need the new mixer that sits there instead of my hand mixer because I bake once a month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Great.
Sure. Yes, you do. Spend $400 on that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's shit like that people are like, oh, well, I need this. And it's like, oh, really? How often do you use it? Oh, dude, it's like the guys with Milwaukee tools. Dude, it's like, well, I needed this one tool. Well, how often do you use it? Well, like a couple times a year.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to drop $200, $300 for a couple times a year? Don't you already have that tool? Well, yeah, but I got to plug a cord in.
Right.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Oh,
I mean,
boy.
we needed a rototiller for our garden.
Or garden.
Yeah. My garden.
Garden? Sure.
And we were going to rent one, but we forgot to fill out the form ahead of time, so we weren't able to.
Whoopsies.
But that was fine. So then we're like asking people we could borrow. No one really had one or a working one. And then we were looking up what they were brand new, and it was what, 500?
Yeah, like 400 to 500.
Yeah. And we're like, we don't want to spend that on something we're going to use once a year.
Fuck all that.
Shaun went on Marketplace.
Right time.
Found one for $150.
Bam. Yep. Beautiful.
I'd much rather spend $150 for something we use once a year than $500.
100%. And renting, it's $50 a day anyways.
Yeah.
So, like,
that would have been the best option, but no.
It'd have been the best option. But I wanted to get it done because I was sick of it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, the idea is... What's up? Oh, yeah, the idea is you don't need near as much the shit as you think. And so when you're fucking... Dude, Menards weekly deals. Scrolling on Menards weekly deals. Or you're scrolling on Amazon. And just buying shit that nobody needs. That's how you're broke.
Dude,
that's why you're broke.
So I don't get them anymore, thank God. But I totally understand why people like spend money, because getting those, like seeing what's on the Menards like daily deals or whatever, it's so tempting. You're just like, oh, this is so cheap. Like, but when you start stacking up, like, okay, you spend $5 here, $10 there, $15 there. You stack that, you spend a lot of money over time.
Big time. It's like fucking getting your food at Quick Trip, and shit. Dude, this shit, when I worked construction, you'd stop at the gas station in the morning. Dude, I always had my coffee on me. If I drank energy drinks, I usually had them in bulk. I had all my food packed for the day. So when we stopped at the gas station in the morning, I didn't get anything. Then the guys would grab food and snacks for then and for lunch, or they would go out for lunch.
Yeah.
And then on the way home, we usually stopped again, and people would grab shit again. And I'm sitting here watching, I'm like, man, you just spent $20, $25 at the gas station today alone. I was making 12 to 14 bucks an hour back then. So I'm like, dude, you're spending 2 hours of work at the gas station a day.
That is my favorite thing to do.
Oh, dude, 100%. I told that to Kyle like
it is my favorite thing to do is thinking about how much hours of work it takes to pay for something.
Yep.
Oh my God, it's my favorite.
What a fucking eye-opening experience. You go out, you want to buy the boys a round of drinks. You buy the boys a round of drinks and you go, okay, well, we all just had a drink, so we all had shots and a drink, and that was an hour of my life I just gave away for a round of drinks.
That's a cheap round of drinks. Was it really? Well, round of drinks and shots?
Yeah. Make more money, babe. Just kidding. Okay. But, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, boom. So I just buy a round, and it's an hour of work.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I also got dinner. We also got dinner. Well, that's another hour of work.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, well, now 1/4 of my day just went to dinner and drinks. 1/4 of my day went to dinner and drinks.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you were the same, if you're that same guy who also hit the gas station up that day. Now a half of your money was gone to just consumption.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the point I'm getting at, is like, I know a lot of dudes who gas station and bar.
Yeah.
And half of your day, 4 hours of your day is gone every day just to that, if you're not careful.
And then you got to think the other 4 is probably going to go to
mortgage.
Yep.
And a car payment.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're RIP living on credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I don't know. I think it's just there's so many things, dude, you got to be conscious of. And when you're not, you're fucked.
Yeah.
And people dude, all the way back to what we first talked about. People do not think of the long-term consequences.
No.
They're living in the moment. They are not thinking about 20, 30, 40 years from now.
Dude, and that's like Caleb Hammer. For some people, he tells them, like, honestly, your best option might be to declare bankruptcy.
Right, yep.
Because some people are so far in debt and they can't change their mindset. Like, there's been so many people lately, and he even mentioned it, like, are like, well, I want to enjoy life while I'm young. I want to live while I'm young. And he's just like, what the fuck is going on with all you people, like, acting like 30-year-old children? He's just like, don't you want to think about your children's futures?
Dude, it's fucking social media. So many people on social media are like, oh, fuck that money. You know, enjoy your younger years. It's your best years.
And it's just like, okay, then you're going to be... Because a lot of people have been going in debt, going on vacations.
100%.
And
people tell you to do that on social media. They're like, go take that trip, girl.
Yeah.
Go take that trip, boss lady.
And like he has to explain to people, like, this is going to take you 10 years to pay off.
Good.
And it's just like, and they're just like, well, and he's just like that. And then he's like, that's if you stop doing everything and living like penny pinching.
Living on ramen for 10 years, you fucking idiot.
Yeah. And they're just like, but we want to live life and enjoy it. And he's just like, you already fucking did. And now you're like, now you have to pay for it.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's like, but what about like our children's, like, we want to have memories with our children. And he's like, yeah, you can fucking do that. Go into the park. Like, you don't need to go across the world to have memories with them.
I remember talking to Kyle about this. 'Cause he's like, I want to take the girls to Disney. And I'm like, you think the girls are going to know the difference between fucking Disney and Metropolis?
No.
At 3 and 2?
No.
Now, when they're 10 and 12, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
But I'm like, until they're fucking 10 and 12, dude, they ain't going to know if you're going to Metropolis or Disney. Yeah. They ain't going to know if you're going to the Dells or Metropolis. Like...
They ain't gonna know if you're gonna go to Como Zoo or Irvine Park.
Exactly, dude. It's like
Como Zoo is free though, so I guess I'm right.
Okay, but either way, it's like people, they think that you have to do these things, and it's like, no, they're not even gonna remember it. They're not gonna know the difference.
Yeah, you gotta like think about, are you doing it for yourself or them?
That's smart.
Because a lot of people are like, they want to have those memories with their kids when they're young.
Yeah. They selfishly are like, I want to have the memories with my kids, and my kids like
aren't going to remember.
Aren't going to remember. Who cares? Yeah.
Did you know, random, how you can remember Disneyland versus Disney World?
No.
Land, LA. World, Orlando, ORL.
Whoa. So we want to go to Disney World if we went somewhere.
Yeah.
Gang, baby. I actually don't care to go, but that's good to know.
I know, that's what I thought. Yeah, so I don't know. It's if you ever are like, I don't know, wanting to learn some financial literacy, Caleb Hammer's a good entertaining option.
Yeah, I like Dave Ramsey more.
That's true.
Dave Ramsey seems to have less stupid people on.
I know.
Caleb Hammer is a YouTube guy who's done really well with getting views and likes. So he brings on actual retards.
Yeah.
Where Dave Ramsey has people calling who typically, some of them are stupid, but they're pretty decent. And Dave Ramsey just like moves the show along.
Yeah.
If it's dumb, he's like, you're stupid, we're moving on.
Yeah. You like it's interesting because like people apply to be on Caleb's show.
Sure.
So I don't know if they sort through and find the worst people.
They have to.
Or what.
Because dude, they go for views. We're like Dave Ramsey, dude.
Which that's his business, so that makes sense.
That's exactly my point.
Yeah.
But Dave Ramsey, dude, if you hit the baby steps and shit and you show like you actually paid off debt, he's like, yeah, come on out, do your fucking like debt-free scream or whatever.
He does. Caleb does do like 1 year audits with people.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So like, because I was telling, I think on a previous podcast, I was talking about how he had like 3 or 4 like really good 1 year reviews with people.
Right. Yep.
And then it was like this one person that like fucking sucked, and he was just like, I was on a hot streak and you just ruined it.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, he does do like 1 year reviews because he also like has a class that people go through after they're on the show.
Sure.
And it's like it's very similar, like baby steps to Dave Ramsey and whatnot.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta love it.
Yeah. Cool. You got anything else? We talked about our 2 favorite things: working out and money.
Huh. Yeah.
We even threw some books in there.
Threw some books in there. You wanna know what, dude? One little business tidbit. If you are hiring someone or you're looking to hire someone, you're looking to interview people, don't try to sell them the position. Try to get them to walk away from the position.
Yeah.
If you're trying to sell a position to someone and then they get in and it's not what they expect, they're going to be like, fuck this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're like, oh, it's not that bad. It's actually fun. You're going to learn so much, and shit like that.
Yeah.
Terrible. If you're like, hey, this sucks. This is what you'll be doing. Does that look fun? It sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do it? And then they're like,
not really.
No. Or they'll be like, yeah, it kind of seems fun. Be like,
cool.
All right, sweet. But yeah, it's try to get people in, like, I try to get customers when I go to do a job, or like when I go do an estimate, I'm the opposite of a salesman. I try to talk people out of doing it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm like, you sure you want to do this?
I think that's why people like us so much.
It could be. Dude, I go to a house. This lady wants to sell us her house. I go to her house and I'm like, your house is nice. I'm like, why aren't you listing on the MLS? Well, we don't want to do the work. I was like, well, what if I just did the work and we just split some money? Like, it would make more sense for you financially. And she's like, well, but then we would have to have another house and we'd have to do this. And I'm like, well, yeah. She's like, well, I don't want to do that. And I'm like, but your house is fine. She's like, yeah, but I just want the ease of selling to you and not having to worry about a thing. And I'm just like, all right then.
Yeah.
I tried to talk you out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to tell you can make more. She's like, I don't care about making more money. I care about easy. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. Cool. But I'm just like, you can make more money doing this. And then they're like, yeah, I don't care about money. And I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, when you think about, like, so she's like taking into account time. Obviously they'd have to like
inconvenience.
Right.
Yeah.
And then like realtor fees, other fees, like
they are taking into account everything where most people don't. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I know we're gonna make like we're gonna put like 20,000 less in our pocket, but we get to move when we want to move. We won't have fees. We won't have inspection reports. You
won't have showings.
We won't have showings. No one's going to be going through your house. Like, we get the money for our down payment right away. We don't have to do contingencies for our house to sell and close before we can move into another house. Mm-hmm. We're not on a time hack. And I'm just like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But I'm over here like, are you sure this is what you want to do?
Yeah.
Like, I'm cool with it. I'll gladly do it, but are you sure? And we do that with a lot of customers. They're like, well, I think we need to do this. And I'm like, here's the deal. We'll gladly take your money. Mm-hmm. But are you sure you want to do that? Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you rather just do this? And they're like, yeah, that sounds better. I'm like, yeah, I think so. Or they'll be like, no, yeah, just take our money. I'm like, gang, let's do it, dude.
Yeah, and that's what we're very honest, which is nice. And like we're not trying to upsell, we try to downsell.
Oh, for sure, dude. I walked through a dude's house a couple days ago. He wants to get ready for listing. And we're going through and he's like, "Oh, I'm thinking of doing this." I can't remember what it was. And he was like, "We're going to do this." And I was like, "Why?" And he's like, "Well, it looked nice." Oh, he wanted to retrim his house. He's got 1x4 stock. So 1x4 painted trim. He's like, "It doesn't look good. It's just like," and I was like, he's like, "So I'm thinking of putting new trim on there." And I was like, "Can I tell you a secret?" He's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "It won't affect the sale at all."
Yeah, no.
And he's like, "Really?" And I was like, "A lot of people like 1x4 trim stock." I was like, "That's not going to do anything for your sale price." It's like, "It's just going to take you a lot of time and money." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And he's like, "Well, how about," he's like, "What are you going to say about the big deck I want to put out back?" And I was like,
No.
"You have a nice yard. How big of a deck?" Dude, like 30 by a 30 by 10 deck. And I was like, "Yeah, no, you're not getting that money back."
No.
I was like, maybe if you do it yourself, and you do not account for your time, you may see the return.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, if you're hiring me to do it or hiring a company to put a deck in, I said, you will not be seeing that return.
Hell no.
You know? And then, yeah, it was just like things like that where I'm like, dude, like, yes, we can do it, but I'm telling you, it's not worth your time.
There's some things like we always say, like move-in ready houses sell way better. But things like that, the people can do themselves.
100%.
Like, yeah, if someone wanted to change out the trim, they could do it themselves.
Yeah.
Paint walls, they can do that themselves.
Yep.
As long as it's like they don't have to do patching or change light fixtures, like as long as it is move-in ready,
Right.
they can do stuff later on while they're living there. Yeah, you don't need to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Change out the trim? Are you kidding
Yeah, dude,
me?
it's crazy. Well, people don't know, they think of like, what would I like? And I'm like, it's not about what would you like.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's like, just don't worry about any of that.
Yeah. And that's like, I kind of learned our lesson from Robin Road. Like, we handmade the trim.
Yeah.
And I like, we mainly did it to save money.
Right.
Because we had like a whole bunch of wood and we're like, oh, this will be easy. One, not easy, very time consuming.
Very time consuming.
But two, like, it's not like it was a selling point at all.
No.
Like, it did.
No one even brought it up.
No, yeah. No one even cared that we handmade the trim.
Yeah, no one cares.
Who even knows if they kept it in there?
I would fucking hope so, Jesus. But who knows? They might not have.
Yeah.
So, I know, dude, it's shit like that it's like, someone asked me too, like, "Oh, what do you think about accent walls and painting rooms different colors from other rooms and all this?" And I was like, no, blank slate.
Mm-hmm.
Let people not have to be like, "Oh, I don't like this green in here."
Mm-hmm.
Or, "I don't like this," whatever.
Like, that's why we haven't, like, we don't customize the houses we live in because we know, like, this isn't our forever home.
Right.
So if we paint a room, we're going to have to paint it back to the regular color when we move up.
Mike, when he lived in Texas, so this would have been 30-something years ago, took a realtor course. So he was going to be a realtor. And he might have done a little realtor work. But anyways, he took a realtor course. And he learned this from the guy teaching the course back then. And he's always kept it in mind. When you buy a house, you should be thinking about selling. You should be thinking about the day you sell that house.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking at buying a house, you should not be thinking about buying that house. You should be thinking about the day you sell that house. So if you're looking at, let's say we were looking at buying Robin Road again, right?
Yeah.
The day we buy it, we should be thinking about the day we sell it. So when we go to do anything, we should be thinking about how it's going to sell. So if we're like, "Oh, we want a red kitchen," like those motherfuckers had a red kitchen, we should be thinking about the day we sell. Well, this red kitchen don't make no goddamn sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when we were doing when we gutted it and we did the tongue and groove on the ceiling.
Yeah.
And then the walls we re-drywalled. We'll say we were like, oh, we really like the look of this car siding. We're going to do the whole room in it. You know, because how many times do you see that in houses? How many times in houses do you see your car siding, your tongue and groove, throughout on all the walls and the ceiling? A ton, right? Mm-hmm. Too much wood for 90% of people.
Yep.
And so you do something like that. And if you're doing that because you like the look, well, now when you sell, you just lowered your pool of buyers drastically.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there's so many things like that where you should be thinking about the end customer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've gone into customers, gone in to talk to customers and stuff, and they're like, oh, we're thinking of doing, one person wanted, it was I don't know, maybe it was red cabinets. I just remember it was such a not normal color cabinets, right?
Yeah.
And whatever, they wanted whatever for the tops. And I was like, are you sure? Why do you want this? And they're like, well, I want to add value to the house because we're only going to be here 3 to 5 more years. And we just think it'd look really good. And I was like, you're not living here forever? And they're like, no. I was like, do not do this color combo. I was like, where have you ever seen it? Well, we haven't. We just think it would look really good. And I'm like, do not do this. Mm-mm. I was like, this is going to ruin your sellability in 3 to 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, do not do this. So yeah, it's like when you buy, think of the day you're going to sell.
Yeah.
And then do shit based on that. Because it's something like 80% of people sell their house. Or, 80% of people move multiple times.
Yeah.
But
I mean, we at least, we did a little color in this house. We did the navy blue cabinets.
Sure, yeah.
But we were consistent with it. So we did navy blue cabinets. Sorry, I hit my microphone. We did, we have a little TV nook. And so we painted that navy blue as well. All of our exterior doors are navy blue. Our
vanities are navy blue.
Yep, the vanities match cabinets. So we made sure it stayed consistent throughout the house.
Right.
A lot of the house has this old school, really thick trim. So the places we had to put new trim, we
did the same thing.
Yep, did the same thing as much as we could.
Yep.
And so yeah, we were very consistent with the choices that we made.
Right.
But yeah, no. Here's a selling tip for you. Never paint anything fucking red. Just don't fucking do it.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't.
It is such a hard color to cover up. And so few people like red.
Yep.
I understand you can paint a room. I could not tell you how mad I was having to repaint that fucking kitchen.
All right. Well, you got anything else?
If your favorite color is red, you're a heathen. I hate the color red. I hate it.
You need to chill out, dude.
I'm sorry.
Red's
it just makes me. It makes me mad.
I don't mind red.
It makes me mad. I don't know. Anyways.
All right. Whatever. Dang, dude.
That's what I'm here for.
I guess so. Yeah. Think about, wrap it all up. Fucking think long term. Don't think short term.
Oh, wow. That really was the theme of today, wasn't it?
It was the theme.
I love it.
All right, gang. Catch you on the next one.
See you.